Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Today we'll talk about the impact of the Turkish historical drama called Ertugrul, the Resurrection, in India, especially with Indian Muslim youth. You got to understand that this is not a new drama. It first aired in Turkey back in December 2014, and it ran for 5 seasons. And it has close to 448 episodes. It began streaming on Netflix. It became immensely popular in India. As we now notice in Kashmir, several babies have been named after Ertugrul or Ertugrul, whatever you would like to call it. During the winters, Ertugrul-style caps were also being seen wearing in Kashmir. In May, a senior official at TRT, the Turkish broadcaster that produces the show, took to Twitter to express his excitement at the dramatic increase in the number of Indians searching for the show on YouTube and Facebook and some of the other places. However, with this great enthusiasm, there have been some bans related to political controversies that we see, for example, in Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and Egypt, because of the controversy around the political message and cultural meaning of the drama. In February, the highest Fatwa Council of Egypt issued a statement accusing Turkey of trying to create an area of influence for itself in the Middle East using its soft power. Critiques in Turkey claim that the release reinforces a message of Muslim nationalism that has helped President Tayyip Erdogan legitimize his power. The fact that the writer and producer of the series, Mehmet Bozdag, is linked to the president's Justice and Development Party, and the president Erdogan has publicly lauded the series, and its cast seems to strengthen his claims. Anyway, the show is extremely popular in India as well as Pakistan. As you know, that in Pakistan it has been aired in, dubbed in Urdu. The episodes of the release were seen by so many people subscribe to it. The cast has been flying to Pakistan, is part of so many things, it's like countless. In June, there were reports that 2 statues of Ertugrul has been erected in Lahore. Perhaps the appeal for Pakistani Muslim lies in the fact that they're trying to construct a sense of the past that is attempting not to identify itself with the history of the subcontinent, but instead takes pride in being a part of the wider Muslim Ummah. Now, on the contrary, now Hindus in the Indian side are saying, oh wow, you're relying on foreign history. It's not foreign history. The meaning of Khilafah for Muslims is something that brings the Muslim Ummah together under one leader, and that's exactly what Khalifa is. As a famous Indian politician said, it was a Muslim politician, said, do not understand Khilafat like a pope sitting in Vatican and has no say whatsoever, is just a puppet, a religious puppet. Khilafat is not like that. Khilafat is something far stronger. It brings the unity back and strengthens everybody together. Anyway, the popularity of the series in India, driven by the same, is it driven by the same factor as the factors of success in Turkey or Pakistan? Are Indian Muslims motivated by the identity crisis or moved by the pan-Islamic political movements shaping the imagination of Muslims in other countries? Because we have noticed during the Modi time in India, Muslims have faced times which they have never faced, at least the generations alive have not faced these times in the past. It's a very different India we're talking about today. There are areas in India where Muslims are very scared. There are identity crisis. India have been talking about the neighboring countries, have been bashing them for such a long time and still continues to do so. However, it doesn't look in its own house where there are a lot of problems, identity crisis. There are certain fundamentalist Hindus who have been causing a lot of terrorism-like activities, suffocating people, and they are politically backed, which are some of the factors. And then this recent move on the matter of Kashmir and Ladakh by the Indian government, and New Delhi made some advancements there, but there are a lot of factors behind which there may be a great influence in the back of the Indian youth Especially we see a difference in the Shia youth in Kashmir now versus their ancestors, versus their forefathers or their parents. So anyway, some researchers believe that the driving factor or the force behind Indian youth liking Ertugrul or Ertugrul series may not be exactly the same reasons that the Pakistan youth, which is a neighboring country, has the likes for Ertugrul. It sort of kind of gives them, the Indian youth, in these times, a way to look at a symbol on which they could be proud of when the local government is trying its level best to eliminate the symbols of Muslims in the country by renaming the railway stations, renaming the streets, renaming the museum. It's a mess. That shows that why somebody living in India would be looking outside of India for a way of motivation, because locally they're getting crushed. Now, if you remember the 1988 Indian TV series Mahabharata, which became the second most watched program in India during the COVID-19 lockdown after the Ramayana, was also scripted by an Indian Muslim. That's strange, right? The noted Urdu novelist and poet Rahi Masoom Raza. He's the one who penned down that series, which was watched by Hindus. It's funny how things when roll out and you're like, really? For a very long time, the music industry, the film industry in India was ruled by Muslims, and still we see a lot of them around. But that doesn't define much. I'm just giving these pointers to show you that what India is actually made of and what the current government is trying to portray India to be. India was never built on the grounds of a Hindu state, as some of the people are trying their level best to make it look like that. As a result, when you do not find motivation from within, you look outside. And that may be the reason that Indian youth is looking outside of India, where they find some ray of hope, some solidarity. What happened in Babri Masjid in place and Ram Mandir dispute, that's known to everybody. What happened in Delhi riots in February, everybody knows about how mishandled that situation was, and how biased it was, and how Muslims were targeted and still getting targeted in areas like in UP, for example, where this yogi guy is messing up the people and is misusing his powers against the Muslims. So anyway, I just wanted to give you my couple of cents on this idea of why Ertugrul series may be getting so popular in India, and especially in the Indian Muslim youth. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.